Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Bill Wick here. I had a powerful realization. I've been studying Kabbalah for probably the last 5 years or so, and I was reading an ancient Gnostic text just a minute ago, and I stumbled along some really interesting information about the necessity to purge what we think we know in order to make room for new knowledge, so to speak. And it dawned on me that something is occurring in my life spiritually that's really interesting. And this is that there is no opposition in my life, energetically, physically, mentally. But let's talk about spiritually for a moment. For there to be opposition, it takes two opposing forces. And what I'm noticing is that when I become transparent to whatever it is that I may perceive as opposition, I become just that. The opposition flows through me because I don't become another opposing force to the energy or the vibration that I don't prefer in my reality. And this is really powerful for me. I notice that inherently there is no opposition. There are only positions. There are only different focal points of perception and positionalities, right, of reality. And, opposition is simply my perceived focal point, right, that I may not prefer. So in reading this Gnostic text, they talk a lot about Christ and some of his esoteric teachings that kind of went a little bit past the parables. In the New Testament, Christ taught, through parables because he wanted to connect on every level. And in every one of those parables, you can interpret it in an infinite amount of meanings, anywhere from, give us this day our daily bread, meaning we eat bread, to the sustenance of our spirit. Anyway, I don't want to get too abstract, but it struck me as strong in terms of, on this plane of reality right now, I'm noticing a lot of awakening, so to speak. A lot of people are waking up and they're going through their purging processes, or also known as crisis. Or they're having these profound revelations, or a little bit of both. You guys are probably, on the same page. I know for me, things get a little bumpy sometimes, and there's a reason for that. Because all of these old mental models that I have in my mind that are no longer really serving my highest good are coming up to the surface to be acknowledged, healed, and released, so that new models of a higher nature can come through. And I do feel, as I've stated before, that there's a real powerful spiritual revolution going on right now. And it's not going on in the clouds with angels and demons. It's going on right here with human beings in the collective consciousness of mankind. People are being forced to wake up, and others, like us, are choosing to wake up, are riding this wave of energy and consciousness and enlightenment. So I wanted to bring up the opposition because I've noticed that as I am less judgmental of what goes on in my theater, I choose to call this all a theater, my reality, what I see. I'm the only person on this planet that sees the way Bill does. And if I'm less judgmental about what I see, and I remain neutral on the things that I don't prefer, then I can actually avoid some massive boulders that, had I judged, I would break my legs on, So a lot of big things